Hi, today I'm going to give you some clues and tips for if you have hooded eyes. This is not something that's necessarily an aging problem. Some people are born with it. I was, but also as you get older, sometimes your eyes will droop more. So these tips can help you even if you don't have a hooded eye. As you see, I've done one eye and I'm going to show you the other. One of the first things that you want to do is recognize that your eyebrows will also play a role in how you look with a hooded eye. So I like to use a good brow palette or something that has both a dark and a light color. So if you use a pencil, then you want both. The thing about brows is sometimes people will bring them way down. If you have a hooded eye, you don't want to do that. Or if you have any type of skin or wrinkles or anything that would be pulling it down here, you want to kind of end it maybe a little bit shorter than normal. You also want to make sure that you have an arch as much as you possibly like, okay? Because brows are very much a preference for some people and how they like it. All right, so I'm going to start with the lighter color in the brow artist brush, and I'm going to go down. I'm going to make sure that I'm going up to that arch. I don't want to come this way where I'm going to lose that arch, okay? Because you want you want people to see and be drawn, their eyes to be drawn up to that arch. So I am just filling it in with the lighter color first. Okay, then I'm going to take the darker color, put that right in that apex of the arch and then come down with it. And I kind of hit it because I was talking. Push it up a little. When I put the brow back, I went down. So the apex of it, and then from there, come down with the darker, okay? So that is important. It is important to do that and make sure that you don't do all of this with your eyeshadow and then your brows are causing the hooded eyes to be bad. Now, first of all, having hooded eyes is just means that you have a different eye shape. So it's not anything bad. It's not something go, oh my goodness, I have hooded eyes. It just means that you have to learn the right techniques for your eyeshadow. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is I'm going to show you a lip. I did already put eye primer on. It's always good to put eye primer because one of the things you want is if you're going to do this technique, you want to make sure that it is not, your eyeshadow is not going to move during the day because you're doing a specific technique. All right, I am going to use a liner brush. So this is the liner shader brush. So you want something that is like 4 liners to do this. And I am using a February exclusive palette. You can use any colors. This is for any colors you want. The one I'm going to use is Alluring. And I'm going to take my brush and put it in the darker color. And I am going to go underneath about to the center. Don't want to go all the way in because again, everything we're trying to do is to pull out, okay? So you're going to go there, and what you're going to do is I like to take a straight edge. I'm just going to use this box that I have that came with it, and you're going to go like you're almost like you're doing a wing eyeliner. You're going to come out just a little bit, okay? I'll take a little bit. Then you're going to look straight ahead, eyes open. You're going to see where is that hood and kind of put a thing right in the middle over your pupil at that highest point. So that when I close, I see it. And you can see how it does it because you see that hood there, okay? Then what I'm going to do is take it and keep my straight edge. And I'm going to draw straight across with it to hit. And if you have to pull up more, pull up more. Make sure it's straight across or up higher. Don't go down, because again, that would mean that you are having it droop down. Okay, now it looks a little spacey. Okay, don't worry about that because we're going to blend. Then I'm going to take my other side of the brush, put that same color in, and fill in. I haven't put anything more on my brush. I'm just kind of making sure it's all even. Okay. Then you want to take a lighter color. Let's see what I did with my brush for that. I guess can't find it. I'm good with it. Okay. Just gonna use a lighter brush and take a lighter color. It can be matte or shimmer, and you're gonna put it in the corner of the lid. Corner to the middle there. Let it go in there. All right. Then we're gonna take a blending brush and blend it. You don't want any harsh lines. So especially on the edge, you want to really blend. I like to go in circles. It just makes it easy. What this does is, again, pulls it out, but also means that when you close your eyes, you see that it goes a little bit above the lid, because with a hooded eye, you wouldn't see all the color on the lid. So you've got to go a little bit above, okay? I like this technique from the middle of your eye so that you're not also pulling your eyes down into your nose either. You put the lighter color on the outside. I mean on the inside, and the darker color on the outside. Excuse me. When you are taking that same lighter color and you're putting a highlighter, again, matte or shimmer, your preference. You want to go underneath that arch and out. But with a hooded eye, you don't always want to come all the way in with that, okay? Especially if it's a shimmer. If it's a matte, I might do that, but I'm just going to do right here for the shimmer. Okay. Land it. And then I'm going to take this darkest color. Again, you can do it with any palette that you have. Any palette, most palettes are gonna have a highlighter and then a light, medium, dark that match, okay? And so with any palette, this is what we're talking about. The medium is what I have in here, the lighter is what I have here, and now I'm using the darker. And I'm gonna use the crease brush. Put a little bit of the darker in, and I'm going to go right on just the lid and right into the crease, but only again to the middle. I'm not pulling everything all the way, and I'm not making this a really big dark area, just a little bit for a little bit of contour there. And see how it is here, just a little bit. Just a little bit. And blend. Blend, blend, blend is the key. Basically with the eyes, there's two things to remember. You don't want to take away space from your lid because it's already small, and you don't want to pull things in, you want to pull it all out. So you want everything out, okay? So with that said, when you do a liner, you want to put a very, very thin liner. You don't want anything thick, so you want something you have some control. I like our dip and draw liner because it's a liquid, but the brush of it is so thin. Look how thin that is. It's very easy to get it done that way. And I'm going to try to do this where you can see it. But you're going to want to go as close as possible to your lid. I mean, not to your lid, to your lashes. Thin, thin, thin. And you also want to kind of stop where your lashes normally stop, and then they get really small. Again, you're not trying to go all the way into your corner. See how thin? All the way to my lashes. The dip and draw is really great for that because it just gives you a lot of control. I like our pencils also because they're smudge-proof and waterproof, so they really stay. With the pencil, though, you have to really make sure that you sharpen it with our sharpener very thinly. And remember, when you do sharpen a pencil, you want to move the sharpener, not the pencil. It's another tip. All right, so what I'm doing with this pencil, though, is I'm going to do my waterline. Because remember, we want to get the darkness of the liner, but we don't want to take any of our lid space. So I put a real thin dip and draw liner, and then I'm going to tight line with the black pencil. That is also hard to do in the phone. You just pull it up. Tight lining is a technique that started in the 60s with teenagers who, when eyeliner became popular, parents didn't want them to wear makeup, so they would start tight lining, and parents would not necessarily know. So they would say, no, look, there's no eyeliner on my eye, but they would tight line. So it's a little historic makeup lesson for you. Then below that, this is not necessary, but it is, if you really want to open your eyes, you put either a cream or a white on the waterline for the bottom. And this is definitely a tip if you have small eyes or when you haven't slept. It's going to really kind of waken you up. Okay. The last tip for hooded eyes is when you have your mascara. Again, what are we going to do? We're trying to pull it out. So notice how my mascara on this is going this way. I'm not pulling it up, and I'm not really putting a lot here. I'm focusing on the outer. So as I said, having hooded eyes, or if your eyes are getting droopier as you get older, which happens to all of us, remember, it's not a bad thing. It's just like anything else. You learn how to use the right technique so that with those hooded or droopy eyes, you are doing your eyeshadow to really minimize the hoodedness and kind of open up the eyes and get people to see how gorgeous your eyes are. See how I'm really concentrating. We call this the butterfly effect, like just really coming out there. Or I call it the butterfly effect. Maybe it's a real name, maybe it's not. I don't know. There, so easy. So 2 main things to remember with hooded eyes. Come above your lid and stay on from the pupil out when you're putting your darker colors, your mascara, and 3 things, I guess. And make sure that you're not using your lid with a lot of dark, okay? So notice, even though I have some dark here, when you look at me, you should really see this inner light part. All right, I hope that helps you to use a good technique and learn how to make your eyes stand out and look beautiful, even if they're hooded. Thanks.